few opinions about psychiatrists. I've dealt with 15, maybe more, different doctors, men and women, over the last 16 years, and they've all pretty much followed the same template, the same formula of dealing with me. This is my birth certificate. If you're not familiar with that symbol, here it is again. You see, it's got the words mental health stamped on the bottom. Now, that was sent to me in the post from a group of people who had a tribunal committee talking about my state of health, my mental well-being, etc., etc., without me being present, because the new Mental Health Act, or amendment to the old Act, the 2007 amendment, states that somebody should have a second chance to prove that they're well. They should have another attempt at convincing the professionals that they're somehow normal and should be in the community. So this bit of paper here basically is a letter from a committee that I didn't want to go to, that went ahead with complete strangers talking about my past. And it doesn't say a single positive thing about me. And it comes with that stamp. There. The same stamp on my birth certificate. You see? And now they're trying to put the pressure on me and go back into hospital. What they're talking about, okay, is incarcerating me for an indeterminate, unspecified length of time for not speaking to a complete stranger about my personal life. Okay? And as far as I'm aware, Her Majesty's seal, which says Dieu mon droit, is something which refers to the common law, as far as I'm aware. You know? They're putting the, I don't know what it is, you know, the social engineering, decision-based techniques, nudging you this way, nudging you that way. They want me back in hospital. And that's what it boils down to, you know? A community treatment order, which is something I signed under duress. I signed that piece of paper to get out of hospital. I didn't see a second opinion appointed doctor. But basically, as far as their legislation is concerned, their statutes, okay, their bureaucracy, their secret meetings, they want to put me away in a place for an unspecified, they want to incarcerate me for an indeterminate amount of time for not speaking to a complete fucking stranger about my personal life. Because if you think about it from a psychopolitical perspective, everything somehow connects to your mental well-being, whether it's your religion, or your family, or the drugs that you decide to take, the company you keep, everything right down to how many pillows you use at night to the ingrowing toenails on your feet can somehow connect to your mental well-being, right? I didn't want to bring this up, but they're using the same seal that they use to lock people up in magistrates' courts and in crown courts. Okay? And they're making up lies about it. Alright? Point 10. Dr. Simpson told us that Mr. Newman's illness was treatment resistant. It responds best to clozapine medication. Even when treated, he has persistent auditory hallucinations and delusional beliefs about device implanted in his body. Now, that's not the truth. I'm not deluded about devices implanted in my body, because I've been living with a device implanted up here for the last 16 years, and I can prove it. I can quite easily prove it. You know, let's just say the last time I had my teeth, the last time I had my teeth x-rayed, I walked back into that fucking room, and the two dental hygienists gave me a look like I wasn't even a human being. So who has the right to start waving around or something like that? So I think of psychiatrists. I think they're running out of rope. You know? If you look on the internet today, you'll find lots of evidence, not just in the patents office, because most people won't read stuff that's in the patents office. There's all kinds of stuff out there. It's common knowledge these days that people have devices implanted in their fucking brains and in their ears. A microwave hearing is not a secret anymore. All the targeted individuals talking about this stuff, but the psychiatrists consistently avoid discussing these topics because the pharmaceutical companies are making too much money out of it. The whole thing's a big protection racket, and that's what I think of psychiatrists. I've dealt with about 15 of them. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not interested in having to go at an individual doctor, because I know they're all part of the same machine. They're all sitting on a cushy number. They're all earning £55,000 a year at least, and none of them want to start pointing the finger at each other. Right? None of these psychiatrists are going to accuse anyone else of negligence when they're all on a cushy number. You know? But the fact of the matter is, an electrician has got more fucking chance of curing schizophrenia than a fucking psychiatrist. To me, they're just modern day witch hunters. You know? If Matthew Hopkins was a doctor, he'd still be fucking Matthew Hopkins. Except these days, they can't tie people to the rack and get out the thumb screws and the cat o' nine tails. So instead they've got haloperidol, clopixel and clozapine. You know? I've been saying to the doctors for years, what's making me ill are machines and computers and devices and shit that I don't understand. And by drugging somebody up, you're just masking the problem. You're delaying the inevitable. And that's the way I see things. And no, I'm not a Scientologist either. Or a free zone Scientologist. I'm not a member of Anonymous. I'm just an individual. I'm a real human being. Under the common law. I haven't haven't sworn any oaths of fealty to any organisations, including the military, the police, the Masons, the Oddfellows, or 1,000 other groups that are tied up in all this shit. I'm just one guy on his own. And they think they can put me away in a fucking hellhole for an unspecified period of time just because I wouldn't speak to a complete fucking stranger about my private